Hi, this is Jess Wozlowski, the webmaster for the district. In this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to use all the nifty stock images that we have available in the library. I'm starting out by dragging a previously worked on project into my timeline because this project I used a lot of stock footage. I will turn up the volume a little. Can you collaborate, investigate, innovate, and revise to solve a problem? Objective. So people think that looks really neat, and I did a lot of other kind of found footage stuff throughout the video. And the way that you find stock images is you go to the top of your screen in WeVideo once you have your timeline figured out, and you hit this little star. It brings you to an area called stock media. Now, there's a drop down that it took me a long time to figure out where it is, but this is super helpful. It can help you find good audio clips that are different than just the most generic stuff that you have originally here. Because this is feeding us Canyon, it's only giving me Canyon options, but you can hear the Canyon options. Fast and different. If I look at color, there will be all sorts of songs that somehow have the tag of color. So one thing I like to do is find audio that is not in everybody else's video. It seems like everybody uses the same background music, so that's awesome tip from Jess, number 1, on how to make your videos more interesting. Stock media tip number 2. Whenever you can, use animations and overlays. So I am going to toggle so that I'm only searching for videos. And I'm going to look for a handshake image that I can maybe use on top of an existing image in my story. So as you can see, this is a hugely robust database of various images. But there are some in here that can be used on top of existing images you might have, including anything with a bright green background and anything that has a black background. I'll show you how I might use this. Let's pull back the existing video I have. Yes, it is here. It's an image of me, but we're gonna put some handshakes on top of it. Oops, where am I? All right. So if I want to have this guy pop up on top of my storyline, it's just as simple as dragging it and moving it right here. You should have duct tape, scissors, little paper tubes. Okay, whether or not this is the best example, I can't really speak to that. It doesn't seem like it needs to be there. However, it's worth noting it does just appear right over top of what you already have. Another example of this is if you decide to use something with a green screen. This one, a corporate handshake. Let's make that happen. Anything you want to do with a green screen, you can just drag onto your timeline. And then you click on the link and make sure that when you go up here, you're bringing it to the picture of a human with like a white background. It's called color keying. You're going to hit the dropper, key out the green, and this is what happens when you've done that. Oh my goodness. Then you've got shaking hands right over top of your video. Isn't that neat? Can you clap? All right, that's tip number 2. Look for animations that can happen over top your existing video. The last pro tip I'm going to give you is how to layer images using opacity levels. This is kind of cool. One of my favorite parts about this video I'm using as a demonstration is I was trying to demonstrate to the students that there were 3 different roles they could play on their project, and I wanted them to take turns and everybody embody all 3 of the roles. To do that, I used opacity and layered the roles, which gave a visual representation of what I was trying to say with my words. So I'm going to give a little demo now of how to do that yourself and layer stock images on top of each other for maximum effect. You can also layer stock images on top of your own images. Super cool for when students are trying to do a book report or something like that. Okay, so to layer images on top of one another and give images different opacities, we're going to first start with 2 pieces of stock media. I found this little girl walking through a beautiful field of flowers, and I'm going to add in a different layer a child watching. I don't know what it's supposed to symbolize, but the point is the drama that I can show. By the way, if you didn't know to do this, you can use this to telescope in and out when you're doing edits. It's sometimes helpful when you are working with smaller clips. So we'll do that here. So right now, the clip that's on top is the only one you can see, the child looking at a television, actually. And what we're going to do is choose that clip and hit this button, opacity. It shows a little green line right here, and I guess that hides or shows the ability to change the opacity. So what I can do is just lower the opacity. So this is not a full image. It's sort of a gauzier version of that image. And you can see how it would appear now. If it'll play it for me. Maybe I just have to show it like this. And you see this child's eye ever so faintly in the background. We could improve that by making the opacity more like 50%. You could also knock the little girl in the field's opacity down a little so that there's more of an equal exchange of the 2 images. So let's see how that looks. And now we've got both images on the screen at the same time. I find learning about opacity is helpful because it allows you to also do other dramatic effects, such as fading one image in under another one. So it might start with a child watching TV by themselves. And then this image is faded in of a child walking in a beautiful field of flowers. All right, those are your 3. All right. All right, so those were your 3 special tips. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. Good luck.